This is COLM McGuigan for IFLTV. Edward, why'd you do that thing with your eyebrows? What the fuck was that?
Because I was telling you before, you were saying about my dad having a heart attack, and I'll say that's why I look after myself so much.
Pizza good though?
Unbelievable. Right. Well,
Edward, massive night for Richardson Hitchins. First of all, let's talk about that fight. Happy with the performance?
shout out to George Kambosos, tough as they come, but just a beautiful display from Richie of timing, skill, and now the confidence to go through the gears.
Just 1 second. Did you nickname him Richie? I've never heard anyone call him it.
Everyone calls him Richie.
I thought he was called Africa.
Only people that he likes. So, yeah. But Africa's is also his nickname. But you know what it is? No one wants to see a 12-round beatdown. Now, if you're beating someone up for 6 rounds, you need to step on the gas and get it over with. And that gives you the perfect performance. And that's what Richie did tonight. He beat George up for 6 rounds. And then he stepped on the gas, walked him down, ended it with a great body shot and a wonderful performance. And exactly what he needed on this kind of stage to put himself up there with the big boys.
When he gets in the ring after and he... do you feel disrespected by the way he spoke in the ring after about being a free agent? Because I kind of looked at your face and you didn't look too happy.
Yeah, I did feel disrespected because it's not him. It's just dogs around him that put things like... I mean, there is no loyalty in boxing. You've got to look after yourself. But when someone has come in, when you were on the floor, and, you know, I remember when I first met Richardson Hitchins, I mean, the door of his car was falling off. And to be honest, I've spent a lot of money and invested in a young man that I really respect and admire. And I've boxed him at Madison Square Garden. I've headlined him in Orlando when we really didn't sell any tickets and we lost a lot of money. I kept with it. I headlined him in Las Vegas, where again we didn't sell many tickets and we lost money. Then I paid for him to get the opportunity to fight Liam Paro for the world title. Then I paid up for a big opponent in George Kambosos, paid up for the big homecoming in New York. But Richardson is a very good kid. He's just got some snakes around him. And those snakes will make you feel like they're your guy. But the reality is they're bloodsuckers who actually, certain individuals, take a bigger percentage or the same percentage as the promoter that's bankrolling you and paying for your entire path in the sport and making the investment. Managers have zero risk, right? They just let the promoter do all the work. They negotiate the deal. And by the way, a good manager is good for your career. But they just let the promoter do all the work, make the investment, risk their money, and then after the fight go, thank you very much, pay me for a couple of phone calls, right? And I just understand the game. So it doesn't infuriate me. I just go, you're a dog, you'll get what's fucking coming to you. That's all. And, you know, that's boxing. So...
what would your advice be to Richardson Hitchins?
I wasn't necessarily talking about Richardson Hitchins. I was just talking about fighters in general. You know? But as far as Richie's concerned, Keith Connolly just said, make sure you say you're a free agent. Make sure you say you're a free agent. But that's all right, because you know what you're dealing with. You have to understand one thing. If I've got your back, you're good. If you start fucking around with me and you don't like... So, really, the situation is, do I want to be in the Richardson Hitchin business if it's going to be like that? And by the way, if I'm not, I mean, Edgar Berlanga, who, you know, Keith Connolly also said to be a free agency, he won the lottery because he wouldn't have got a fight with PBC at the time. Top rank, obviously, he's burnt his bridges, but Turkey come along and, you know, gave him... And I'm pleased for Edgar, I like Edgar. But you just got to be a little bit smart in the game, you know? And I'm pretty big on the loyalty side of business as well, where when we've done the job that we've done, and you would expect... You know, and I told Richie after, you know? And he just said to our guys, like, he didn't even know what he was saying. He was just told to say it. And that don't sit well with me. But it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. I understand the game. If you don't have the respect to say, wow, what you've done for me, you know, on one hand, it's like, you've completely changed my life. By the way, I'm a free agent. Thanks. So that's it.
Well, you'll still work with Richardson Hitchins, obviously, going forward.
If it suits me, yeah. But the you know, just things change, like, little things like that. So, and I don't blame Richie, because Richie got told to say it. He doesn't. I don't think he necessarily even understands what he would like. But the reality is, you know, you heard him then at the press conference. Oh, I'm sitting down with Eddie. I'm blah, blah. Because now I've said to, like, I've told him it was a liberty, and now it's a backtrack of no. But listen, Keith's Keith. I love Keithy, baby. The suits and the face tune and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, you know, he's good. He gets those deals done. But the long term play is a little bit different. So myself and Keithy, baby, will sit down, and if there's a deal to be done with Richardson and Matchroom, we'll consider it. But it's got to work for us, because it hasn't worked for us so far. But guess what? We invested in the kid. As he said, we completely changed his life. So we'll see what's next.
Right, I've taken up enough of you and your staff's time this week, so we'll go really quickly through this. How hard was it this week to deal with 3 pullouts in the end? It ended up
Easy. I mean, like, they weren't, you know, the one that was difficult was Pablo, because he'd sold 700 tickets tonight. And
what happens there then?
no, look, I mean, obviously the problem is that the commission pulled a plug when everybody's in the building. You know, people were coming to support Pablo, people were coming to support Richie as well. They're all the same kind of crew. It's a pain in the arse, because the fighter comes in, and yesterday the New York State Athletic Commission, who are unbelievably strict, but also unbelievably good, right? They had an issue and they said, we want further tests on this fighter. We sent him away, he got further tests, he passed all those tests, but they said, we want to inspect him when he arrives tomorrow. He arrived tomorrow, the condition they felt got worse. And they said, we're not allowing him to fight. So it's like, that's a disaster. Alexis Barreri, I mean, he was a Canadian fighter fighting in New York. Tito Mercado, obviously, you know, a big one of our stars, but it is what it is, you know. It's a good show, great action, and a great main event.
Andy Cruz, Murataya next?
Yes, that's what we want. I mean, Murataya is a really good fighter. Robert Garcia trained, who's one of the best trainers in the world. And it's going to be really interesting to see if Murataya takes Cruz next, if he tries to fit in a voluntary defence.
You maybe even look at Keyshawn Davis?
For who?
For Andy Cruz?
Yeah, I mean, Keyshawn right now is in no man's land. I mean, he's not a world champion. He is a big name. We love that fight. We've been wanting it for a long time. But obviously, we want Andy to win a world title. So I think, you know, if Keyshawn moves to 140, it's not on the horizon right now. But, you know, I believe Andy Cruz will be a world champion in the next 6 months.
How much of a star is TEREMOANA Jr.?
I mean, like, phones going mad, socials going mad. It's just, some people have got a beautiful way about them, and that's TEREMOANA. Like, he's a savage, a real dangerous individual, but you see the smile on his face. Like, he puts a smile on people's face. And I sometimes worry that he's doing all this, and I'm thinking, mate, are you ready to have a fight? But as soon as that bell goes, he switches it up, and it was a devastating knockout. Really impressive. He's a very, very, very serious talent, and we're going to be making a major investment in TEREMOANA over the next couple of years.
Before I let you go, say Kambosos and Nishan Dev.
Fantastic. I mean, you know, Adam Macker as well. We talked with him on camera, sorry. Nishan, great performance, good 6 rounds. Zaquin special. He's 19 years of age. I mean, our talent is incredible. It's been a great week in New York, and off we go to Birmingham, and I'll see you there.
You won't see me there, but you'll see Coogan.
Oh, thank God.
Appreciate your time, mate. See you in a bit.